Oh, man. Episode 31.
The dirty 30. No, that was...
That's inappropriate.
What?
Calm yourself.
What?
Yo, episode 31 of That One Piece Talk. My name is Larry.
Lawrence.
Sam.
And this is That One Piece Talk, where we talk One Piece. Oh, man. Yo, I'm so hyped about this episode. And it's because, one, the chapter was pretty good. Yeah. It was high for me. Mm-hmm. And two, we hit 5,000 subscribers. 5,000. I wish. 5,000 followers on TikTok.
Hey.
Yeah. So I want to say thank you to everybody because I know a lot of people that come to our channel is because of TikTok, and TikTok has a special place in my heart. So I just want to say thank you, and to celebrate, we have wine.
We weren't gonna announce it. That was the point of putting it in the red cups. But
okay, so
yeah. What's the point? Why won't we tell them it's wine?
Kids watch this show, man. Not supposed to drink.
I
we should have before Larry. That's
I don't know if we were supposed to. We didn't want to make
whatever. It's
anyone feel
What kind is it though?
No, it's light.
Take
it's
a
sweet.
sip, bro.
It's sweet. Yeah, it's sweet wine.
Oh, it's sweet wine. Okay,
Yeah.
You weren't supposed to take a sip. We were supposed to cheers. Can we cheers or no?
No.
Okay. So, well, to 5,000 followers.
Oh man.
Thank you.
I love us. This is funny. Our dynamic is funny as hell.
All right. Anyway, other than that, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's in the live chat. I'm pretty sure there's some guys. Who's in the chat right now?
Right now we got Smooth Llama,
Let's go!
Hazy Sake, Quincy Riley, Shane Didachi, Ankarth, Monkey D. Huga, Kobe Do Too Much.
All my guys.
Yeah, man.
I just want to say thank you for joining, man. I appreciate you guys being in the chat. 666. What's going on? How's it going? I came from TikTok, stayed for the podcast first, live. Hey, you hear me? Nah, guys.
Am I tripping?
What?
Was that there the entire time?
Nah, it
What,
was
the clock?
okay.
No, I'm not you.
The text chat.
Yeah.
No,
on the side there.
That's
No,
only.
it had
That's always been there.
Oh, when we did like okay.
Marv line, it wasn't on there.
Yeah, because I just noticed that right now, and I thought I'm tripping because usually my observations be on point.
No.
What?
Your observation don't be on point.
What?
All right. Anyway,
That's crazy.
should we get started with the chapter?
Yeah, man.
All
Let's
right.
get it.
Let's do it. So, first question. Ready? At the start of the chapter, we see the Fire Festival is starting to die down. We know that because it's reaching the point of the festival where they are lighting the skyboats. On the skyboats, the people of Wano write what they want most right now. Will the boats, with everyone's hopes and wishes from Wano, float to a Momonosuke carrying Onigashima and help him summon his own flame clouds to keep the island from falling? We'll go with Lawrence.
That would be pretty dope. I can see Oda doing that because I kind of feel like that's kind of up his alley. Like he would do something like that.
Yeah.
And how would it impact Momonosuke? Because yes, he's been away for so long, but these are his people. You know. Yes, he's been away for like 20 years.
Yeah.
And then also
20 plus another 6 or so.
Exactly.
Like
so
6 months.
like these are his people, right? And then also it could give him here. I guess he already knows the gravity situations, but in a way it could give him even more more fuel to realize how much it's dependent on him. Like yes, you're kind of depending on Luffy, Momo, but in a way you have to do your part, and he recognizes this. But this is kind of add to his realization, these are my people, and these are their hopes and dreams that I'm legit seeing with my own eyes. This could also be a peaceful nation. They've seen so much. Because Momo kind of shows that he's a deep thinker, even though he's a kid, you know? So all this showing is where it could kind of have him, like you mentioned, it can add to his growth as a person. As in, this is a nation that I have to take care of myself. That I can't rely on Luffy at this point, on this exact thing. Luffy's already fighting Kaido, but this is all on me here. I'm the only one here that can stop this thing from falling right now. So I feel like this could add to that by him recognizing these are my people. And me wanting to be Domino, just like a king, you have to take care of your subjects. You have to take care of your kingdom. What's the point of being a king if you can't do that? You know, we've seen so many bad kings in One Piece, or tyrants in One Piece. Momo doesn't want to be that way, and that's his goal. So this is like, in a way, it adds to his already goal of wanting being daimyo of Wano.
Okay. What about you, Seb?
I think that would be absolutely amazing. And beyond Lawrence is saying, because he's speaking to like the narrative of it and the plot and like the impact it'll have on Momo. I just think visually, to see like a giant dragon and then the actual skyboats come up and like help him lift it, that would just look so cool. You know what I mean? Like Wano's already been really visually like stunning at times. Like when they first got to Onigashima, when they saw the skull and everything, that was one of the best panels I've seen Oda draw in One Piece history. Like, I feel like him holding Onigashima with those, like, skyboats, with their, like, with the writing on it, you know what I mean? Like, it can get real emotional. Like, that's the story beats that I want to see, but visually, I think that would be stunning. So, like, you came up with that?
Yeah.
Or, bro.
Yeah.
I know I don't give Larry a lot of credit, but that would be heat, bro.
I didn't even think of that until he
I'm a good
said it.
host,
Yo,
bro.
that would be heat. I know I rip Larry a
come
lot
on,
for
yo.
his imagination. That would be absolutely amazing. Would Oda do it? I could also see him having that be something, because Lawrence was talking about how it would impact Momo. I could also see it being something to make the fight more personal for Luffy. So, like, I don't want to harp into Luffy losing again and stuff, but, like, if he lost again and, like, saw the writing on the, you know, it could, like, you always talk about the tension. Like, one of the characters was writing, like, I want to be able to feed my daughter tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, this is what it's about.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's cool, fun, you're fighting for Kaido, but it's like, yo, these people are really basically enslaved by Kaido and Orochi down here. And dealing with the worst segment of their lives. And just struggling through it. Like, they're putting those real hopes and dreams on it. So, like, it could be something that makes it more personal for Luffy. But I think it would probably be a better structure of the way Lawrence laid it out with, like, Momo seeing it. And, like, the way you wrote it with Momo seeing it. Being the person who's supposed to be shogun of these people at some point. So
Shogun. Like, what do I keep saying? Daimyo?
Daimyo. I mean,
Daimyo.
Yeah.
It's basically the same thing.
No,
Is
it's
it?
not. No,
No,
Daimyo
Shogun's
is
higher.
like Daimyo is like a governor. Shogun is like the president.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. My bad. Clearly, I'm not cultured. For me, I when I thought about this question, I thought to myself and I said, how cool would it be? Because as soon as I saw, like Sebastian said, when the woman was writing, I want to feed my daughter tomorrow, or I just want to feed my daughter, I thought about it to myself. It's like, okay, so these skyboats are going to rise. And if they rise, who's above it? And I was going to say, oh, Onigashima and Momonosuke. And I was like, Momonosuke has this, failing of creating these flame clouds. And skyboats are made from flames, basically. It would bring it to the surface. So if he's able to take the people of his country's hopes and dreams and wishes and use that to keep Onigashima from falling, there's sort of this poetic feeling that I got from it. And I said to myself, like, how very Disney that would be, but also how much of a growth it would spur inside of Momonosuke. And then you brought up one of the points I'm talking about now is where we've seen his growth for himself and not because of anybody else. Like, Luffy happens to be this person who gives him a lot of his motivation. It's sort of like a surrogate older brother, right? But Momonosuke, when he went to the chick that raped him, Shinobu, he did that of his own accord because he felt he needed to. He was willing to give 20 years of his life just like that and was like, okay, I'm just going to do it. Him taking everybody's hopes and dreams and all that stuff and holding up the island, one, it gives a call back to what Odin was doing, right? But two, it shows that Momonosuke is going to be the shogun. He's going to be this person that is going to restore Wano. So why not take everybody's hopes and dreams and keep the island from falling? And I was like, I think I can see that now.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's beautiful in a way. Like, that's great writing. Like, there's so many things that is going to make Momonosuke seem more important than everybody else in this entire arc. And it's going to be that because without him doing this, Luffy fails. Everybody fails.
Yeah.
Most of the people die in Wano. I think CP0 probably even dies at this point, right?
They said when the explosion goes off, it'll basically clear the whole like island of people. So maybe Kaido would survive it.
Yeah.
I guess Baby King if the flame is back on. Like,
Kaido, Big Mom.
It's going to be a special moment, and like Sebastian said, there's been a lot of beautiful scenes in Wano, and I think that because of the emotional impact, that will probably be the best scene in Wano. To see the recreation of what Odin did with his scabbards, but now there's so much more that rests upon his son's shoulders. You know, I think at the end of the day, sometimes we forget that Odin had a son, and his son was supposed to be next in line. You know, we just think of Momo as this like,
that's true.
This plot line that he's just, you know, in there to help Luffy achieve his goals. And it's not actually like that. It's like the other way around in a way, right?
Yeah, it's his birthright.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Because generation, Odin's father, Odin, Momonosuke.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's his birthright. It's basically his responsibility to do it, like you said.
And it would be really great because of everything we've said, but even for Momo specifically, because he was like one of everyone's least favorite characters for a while.
Yeah.
Like the little kid who's annoying, he's perverted, he's just there, he's not doing anything. To have that kind of a highlight and then have it to have like that kind of emotional weight as well. Because we already made Momo's going to hold up Onigashima. We've already spoke on that. But for it to be like with this, like added measure of care, like narrative, like symbolically and actually carrying the hopes and dreams of the. It would be great. I honestly hope we get that.
And you know what's crazier too? If I could give you guys a visual, imagine like Momonosuke's not able to drag the island away from the Fire Festival. Like he either runs out of energy or Kaido gets this huge boost in strength where he gets a second wind. And now like he can't do it. So now he like wraps his body around the island and like he's trying to keep it from falling, but he can't. So he's like getting shaken down and then all of a sudden you just see the skyboats come up and then he starts reading. Like I want to feed my child. I wish my wife was here. This and that. And then he like sort of like I don't know if he gets like a Zoan boost and he just takes all the flames and like creates this huge cloud. I would literally just be like, I have to watch the anime. I hate the anime, but I have to watch the anime now just for that scene.
There's moments that you see in like Wano specifically where you think back like, yo, I have to go check out to see what that's like in the anime. Zoro vs. King was one of them for me. How they animated, what is it, episode 982 is another one of them. I don't know if I had that feeling when I read it, but when I watched it, I felt like goosebumps. But like, in general, we get that every now and then. And if this was to happen, it would be one of those. It would totally be one of those.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly, I don't think it's going to happen because timing-wise, but I think it would have been dope because, like, say like we got Luffy losing again, right? Because to me, I kind of wanted, like we always talked about, Momo's definitely, well, what we believe he's going to hold up Onigashima. But I kind of want it to be, like you mentioned, a struggle. I said it wrong again.
Onigashima.
Anywho, pretty much holding up the island again, right? I want it to be a struggle. Like, for example, how Odin had the, what did he do for like, what was it, how many hours? An hour,
he did it
right?
for 1 hour, yeah.
I kind of wanted, I think it would have been dope to have Luffy lose again. But Luffy's final fight with Kaido is when
1 hour.
Momo's holding it up.
Yeah.
So he's holding it up while Luffy's trying is like Luffy's last stand in a way. So everything's coming down to this crucial moment. Like Momo's giving his all, his everything to hold up the island, and Luffy's like last stand here is like, because Luffy, you lose again, it's over. You know, because and then but this is after Luffy has to lose this time and then fight again. But timing wise, I don't think that's gonna happen because it's been. Ideally, it's been more than 5 minutes. But I still think that it was, again, Yamato's estimation. Because how would she exactly know that timing-wise?
She went to the Frieza school of mathematics, bro. You know? That 5 minutes about to be stretched.
Yeah. So, like, with that in mind, then those balloons come up on the last stand. So, it's like the climactic thing would have been cool. I don't think it's going to play out that way, but...
Poetic, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't talk about the front cover just because I felt like the front cover didn't Nothing really happened.
was
It was
simple.
just Germa 666 being, just chilling because it seems like they already escaped unharmed. So I really think there much we needed to talk about, right?
Yeah, they've had some like bandages on.
Yeah, they're good.
They seem like they were fine.
I wonder why it's just them three though. Like,
Those are the every crew got a big like three.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those are the three for the Germa.
All right. So,
That was good. That was really good.
yeah. What, the question or?
Yeah, the question.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yo, Naron's
always-
in the chat.
Oh, Nyron's in the chat. What's up, Nyron?
He said sleep tight.
All right. So, question number 2, right? We go back to the rooftop to see Kaido versus Luffy. Kaido, to our surprise, gets drunk right in front of Luffy. Luffy tells him not to make excuses if he beats him. Kaido says he wouldn't make himself weaker on purpose. Has Kaido been taking any of the fights he's been in to this point seriously at all? And I'll start with Sebastian this time.
I'm gonna say no. So to his point in this chapter, him doing this, drinking now, is reference to him like taking it seriously, which I don't know how to take that, because how do you drink and get drunk? And like I know there's the trope of like I drank and now I'm stronger, like in Eastern like lore. But like typically if you drink and you're drunk, you're not gonna be at your best.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe that's different for Kaido. I don't know. But typically that's not the case. But I will say that is a common theme amongst the Yonko. Like every time they drink, like they're fighting. You know, like Whitebeard and Shanks shared sake and then exchanged blows.
Yeah.
Big Mom and Kaido drank, like Kaido drank and then immediately swung at Big Mom. You know, and now he's drinking
Yo,
again.
that's so crazy, right?
Yo.
That sounds crazy.
Yo, yeah, but like when Big Mom, he said, "Yo, uncuff her." He took a giant swig of his thing and he swung at Big Mom, and then they were partying and they were, you know. Blackbeard also likes to drink. So like, I don't know if it's a Yonko thing per se or if it's a Kaido thing, but to his point, he said, "Yo, this is me respecting you." So this is him now getting serious. So if he wasn't drinking before, then he wasn't serious.
Yeah.
He's also, I mean, I hope he has his awakening coming. So like, he's never been fully serious. Like I don't think we've seen fully serious Kaido fighting, because even who he's fighting, they've not been able to push him. To his point in this chapter, he says like, I haven't had like an opponent that's able to fight toe to toe with me seriously in a long time. Like I can't remember the last time in one of the translations. I don't remember if he said a number of years or whatever. But it's probably, I don't want to say Odin, but it's probably been a while.
Yeah.
So, and of the people in the world that could actually do it, it's what, like 5 people? Whitebeard, Big Mom, Shanks, Akainu, and like maybe like Mihawk, you know? Like, he's not running into those people often. So, I want to say no, he hasn't taken anybody seriously to this point, especially not what we've seen. The Scabbards, no.
Yeah.
You know, Yamato, he was more upset than he was serious. Like, if he was serious, it was in a parenting way versus I'm respecting your capabilities kind of thing. It was, I'm upset with you. Luffy, before this, he's dodged a couple times, but he's not been serious to me. So, no.
All right.
Hasn't been serious.
Did you do a poll?
Oh,
Maybe
yeah,
you
no,
do
I'm
a
doing
poll?
that. Yeah.
What do you think, Lawrence? What do you think about that? Do you think has he taken any of the fights seriously so far to this point?
That we seen on Wano and everything.
Yeah.
No, I never really thought he did from the get, because I know I said in the past that it was more like he was doing it for his amusement. You know? So it was basically like he scaled down. If he was serious, he wouldn't be scaling down. He would take it as top priority, or like really try to, like we all discussed, if he really wanted to kill them, he could have. You know, he was kind of not really say underestimating them, but he knew, in which he wasn't wrong, they weren't really on his level, or they're not on his level. So he's like, why do I have to take you guys seriously? You guys are amusing. Because even though when we saw them landing attacks on him, and they were damaging him somewhat a little bit, he was like, huh, not bad, well done, you know? But still not even giving it much his all, you know, or even taking them seriously. He would, because also too, he would land like one attack. Like I was telling to Lina when we were going back and forth, the difference between him fighting Yamato and he was fighting them. Like, aside from what we've seen right now, this is the first time we've seen Kaido in the chapter we just read, the newest chapter, him do like multiple or a series of attacks, like a Gatling. Most of the time earlier, it was just kind of one attack. That's how I knew. It was like, you're doing one attack, that's it. You get one attack, you get one attack, you get one attack.
Everybody gets one.
Everybody gets one attack, you know? And then he'll stop there. He's not continuing. He's not following up with nothing. Usually when you're fighting, you're going to follow up. You're going to do some damage. But he's doing one attack. This is one time he's actually doing multiple strong attacks.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, for this way you're fighting, it showed that he wasn't taking it seriously. And I thought it was interesting him drinking. One, I thought that was mad gangsta and pirate. He was like, in the middle of the fight, they're going at. He's just like, all right, I'm going to start drinking. It was very pirate-esque. I thought it was gangsta. Then he was just like, Luffy, you really drinking right now? You want one? Like, you know what I mean?
But Luffy should have took that drink.
Yeah, he should have.
I would have took that drink.
I thought that would have been super dope if Luffy took the drink. I was like, okay, that would have been dope.
Yeah.
That would have been the cementing of Luffy being a great pirate, right?
Yeah.
It would have been the cementing of him being Yonko status.
Yeah, seriously. This is proof right here that he's not. This is the defining mark.
He
didn't take the drink.
He didn't take the drink.
Any Yonko would have took that drink.
Right now, the poll is kind of split. It's 55% no, 45% yes.
Okay. So
I was like, yeah, pretty much, right? And honestly, going back to like, and it's interesting because most people think Sebastian, I think you mentioned about him drinking and maybe, I think it made him weak or whatever. I don't know if you
Yeah, I'm saying in general, like if you're drinking, you're not going to be at your best. But
yeah,
that's like regular human stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Because two things. One, I was like, yo, imagine, it'd be mad random. We never thought of it. But what if Kaido's like a drunken boxer? Like, remember the Jackie Chan movie? Like, the drunken master?
Yeah.
Because remember, too, Jackie Chan was in that movie was going through a lot of emotional stuff with his dad.
Yeah.
So, like, he was sick when he was fighting, he's also singing out to his dad or whatever. Kaido's like, he has a lot of mental or whatever issues that he's going through. But we see in his drunk, he's kind of letting it all out now.
Yeah.
But that one attack he did kind of show that, yo, he might be a drunken boxer because he dodged Luffy's attack and then, boom, rocked him. And I was like, yo, Kaido might be a drunken... Because he's doing moves, not even thinking about or paying attention to Luffy, really. Yeah, he's whipping out attacks while he's like drunk and like whatever.
Yeah.
So like, what if he's a drunken boxer? And that, to me, that made it interesting. And it also makes sense with Kaido because like how he is. He's kind of weird and unorthodox in a certain way. And then also, just later on, Luffy even mentioned though, I don't know if it's the right translation, that his hockey's getting stronger.
No, it said it's hockey.
Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting. So he might be a drunken boxer or... Like like he said, he views it when he drinks. He's more of acknowledgement, and that kind of seems like I guess because you kind of only share cup in the pirate world, I guess. So I don't know, they share cups with like drinks with people they acknowledge. We see Whitebeard, Gold Roger. We see Whitebeard and Shanks. We see Big Mom and Kaido. Usually the higher ups, you kind of Luffy and Sabo and Ace. They kind of share cups with someone they recognize as an equal or a brother or like around their status. So.
Okay. No, you brought up a lot of good points. You and Sebastian brought up a lot of good points. For me, I think that Kaido is so much more impressive strength-wise than like I thought. So like, put it this way.
He does this every other week. Yeah.
It's because Oda just keeps showing me it.
Yeah.
So like, for me, I don't think he's taking the fights seriously at all. So I agree with Sebastian. And I agree with you because you said the same thing, right? I more or less agree that he's kind of like a new Kenpachi. You know what I'm saying?
Said that in the chat.
It's just basically he's stooping down to people's levels in order to feel something. But overall, up to this point, he's still not taking it seriously, even after recognizing Luffy can hurt him. And it says volumes about Big Mom, and it says volumes about Rocks, Shanks, and Whitebeard especially. Like, he's a part of that crew. And like, if Kaido was necessarily, of course he's not as strong as he was now, but like if he was starting to come up, it's just like he's probably the biggest tank in the show. Like, remember, we seen somebody get gamma knifed and like they couldn't move, and he's able to like speed blitz people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, gamma knife kind of seems like nothing happened, and that's kind of crazy because he's not able to fix himself, and it's just like, if he's in his normal base human form and he's able to take all this damage and more, and then he goes into his dragon state, then anybody that did damage in his dragon state kind of wasn't really damaged at this point. And it makes me think, like, I used to think that Odin was going to take Kaido out at that point when he was about to, and he said he was going to. But now I'm like, I don't think he would have took Kaido's head off. I think Kaido would have just tanked another attack. Yeah. And that's really what it comes down to. Like, Odin, I know.
I don't know about tanking, but he would have took another attack.
Yeah.
He would have took another attack, but I
tanking.
don't think Odin would have cut his head off.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
And I think I'm now more convinced of that than ever, especially after seeing just him, just putting Luffy in that category of monsters, and he's able to just be like, all right, let me get a swig of this real quick. I'm going to inebriate myself, and it makes me think too, like, even though he says he's not purposely making himself weaker, he might be doing it inadvertently, because he's going through these different emotions, but he's not actually going, I need to beat him.
Yeah.
He's more like, I'm just enjoying myself. So you're not taking this fight seriously either, even though he could be hurt by it, Luffy. And it's like, I don't know. I think Kaido moves up on the tier list at this point. Like, I think he moves up from where he was, where we had him, just because if he's not taking things seriously, and if he starts and he's like, yo, I need to actually beat you and overcome you and use my ultimate willpower to beat you, he's stronger than Big Mom. And I know that's hard to say because a lot of people think like they're equal, but they think Kaido's a little bit stronger. I think he's probably like 2 or 3 points now stronger than Big Mom.
2 or 3. The thing is, I'm just gonna add, like, pretty much what I think it is, because even with Kaido's acknowledgement on Luffy, and like in harmony with what you're saying, Kaido doesn't. The fear of him losing is not there. As much as Luffy's growing and showing himself, it's not like, oh yeah, you can truly fight me, but it doesn't mean I'm in danger of losing to you. Like, I kind of feel like what would be with the other Yonkos if he went with Shanks, Big Mom. I think it's a measure where they could possibly even beat Kaido, or kind of recognizes that, possibly, because they're around his level and then they're greats. But Luffy's still not there. He's like, oh, you're able to fight me, but just because you're able to fight someone isn't like good doesn't mean you're able to beat him.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting that. Like, great way of putting that, and it just shows how monstrous these Yonko are. Like like if Shanks is at this same level, I can't even comprehend how.
With no ability,
hard work and dedication, man.
Like this is what I try to tell people, right? Big Mom and Kaido have these special abilities. They are special monsters within the verse, in the verse of monsters. And for Shanks to be up there with one arm and be kind of like a regular human, like if he got hit with Gamma Knife, it's probably going to destroy his guts, right? Because Gamma Knife is just huge. Kaido's a big person. It probably didn't cut all the way. For someone like Shanks to like just avoid that or not get hit by it, or like to be able to compete and be at the same level as these two monsters, I just don't see. He's probably the strongest person. Like,
I mean, the way to compete is to be overwhelmingly powerful with your physical, like attack power, and obviously Shanks is probably way durable. Like, I know
his observation has to be off the scale,
and he'd have to be crazy fast.
Yeah,
because speed kills. So if like Law tried to get that off, he could take Law's arm off that quick. So that's the level he'd have to be at. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
which we all
fruits,
assume he is.
Devil fruits are probably not going to work on him at all. Just because his hockey levels are just going to be too extreme.
That's like, where we're going to where it would. Sorry, but it would have to be like you mentioned, because we already saw. To me, he still showed Conqueror's hockey feat that no one other person showed in the show. Like you mentioned, he's able to, because like I was telling Lido, it's not only that he was able to damage inanimate objects. I don't know if you guys noticed. Have you noticed that each hockey we seen was kind of more like a burst? Yeah. Right? Shanks showed that he was able to keep it on somehow. Like it was like
a sustained.
Yes. Yeah. And then also, because it got to breaking objects, but it kind of seemed like it was getting stronger the longer it was on, because it wasn't like right away he broke objects. It was like it was staying there and then growing and growing, and then while it's knocking people out, it starts destroying Whitebeard's ship. So it's like I've never seen anyone able to keep it for that long. Yeah. Well, because he did the whole time he was walking, So that's what I was like. So like you said, to keep at that level, all his other hockeys have to be like towards the highest form, because we were seeing how much you could do with Conquerors. Like you're able to survive Odin, the hour boiling.
Look at Luffy right now in his base fighting Kaido, because his Conqueror spirit is what it is. Because he's always had a crazy strong Conqueror spirit. He's just now being able to utilize it to fight. Shanks has probably been able to do that for decades. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like he's at like the highest level you can be with that probably, or near it.
Yeah, this
So-
is why like when people tell me like Shanks has to be the weakest Yonko, I have to like think about it and be like, you are out of your mind. You are out of your mind if you think Shanks is the weakest Yonko. By far, as much as Kaido goes up and Big Mom goes up, he's up there.
Yeah.
The only person you can't say that about necessarily is Blackbeard, because all of his power has come from his devil fruits.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he just became a Yonko. He hasn't been a Yonko. It's only been 2 years. It hasn't been 10 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Let me read some of these comments in regards to it. The poll is at 53 to 47 after 17 votes. 53% said no. 47% said yes. Most of them seem to be referring to Yamato. So that scene where Kaido was like bashing Yamato down are probably what people are saying for the yeses.
That's what I'm saying. He hasn't done that to either of those.
Yeah.
He just now like the bashing, like that's what I'm trying to say. He wasn't holding that much back with Yamato because it was different.
Yeah.
This was personal between them two.
But yeah, I'm gonna get some of these off.
yeah, go ahead.
Quincy Riley says, "Isn't there a brother missing?" Which is funny. Tariq says maybe he's like Rock Lee.
The drunken boxer.
when he versus Kimimaro.
Arjun says Kaido definitely took Yamato seriously. Super Gamer Guy says, I wouldn't say getting drunk made him stronger. He's just having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah, we agree
Same.
to that.
I mean, Luffy did say that his hockey was stronger than it was before,
That's-
so
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
That's
he,
not-
maybe
it could
he
be
gets
that his
a boost.
emotions are coming out, so he's like letting out more though too.
yeah.
Kaido got serious.
Sebastian couldn't read for
Yeah,
a
I
second.
couldn't read it for some reason. I
Can't
don't
you
know.
read, Mister?
Some people are comparing the Kaido to Kenpachi from Bleach, like you guys did.
Yeah.
Arjun, people are talking about Mihawk. Tariq says Mihawk's greater than any current Yonko. I don't know about that one, dog.
Let him go,
I
bro.
don't know about that one, dog.
Yo, let him go, bro. Let him think it.
Oh, man. Super Gamer Guy says, if Big Mom fought Mihawk, Big Mom would be the world's new strongest swordsman. Let's just be honest about it.
She's gonna be doing somersaults.
Mihawk acknowledged he is below Whitebeard.
That is true.
That is
Gamer
true.
guy said that?
Gamer Guy
Gamer
said
guy
that.
always coming out with like great facts. He's definitely a good thinker.
There's some Shanks shade in here too, but all right, I'm
go,
gonna end
man.
the poll now, guys. But thank you guys for voting. We'll probably put up some more polls soon.
All right. So for our next question, I asked this because I had an issue with it, and I'm afraid of it happening again. So the question is, next we get a look at Kaido's drunken dragon Bagua, his happy drunk state. He lands a fierce blow named Lightning Hammered Ragnaroku. Luffy is hurt, but it seems he's not as hurt as much as he should be. Are you starting to get the same vibes of this fight that we had with Luffy versus Katakuri? Meaning, anything devastating and outrageously lethal Kaido lands doesn't have a true negative effect on Luffy. And we'll start with Lawrence.
Well, I will mention, to me, what I saw, I'm not going to say that should have been the attack to send like, Luffy's, next loss, or the loss that we think, or we want to happen, I should say. I did think that Luffy should have probably been more hurt by it, because he showed that he took, like, heavy damage, because he started yelling, screaming, like, groaning in pain, and he mentions, like, yo, this guy's, like, he's tough, like, what the heck? How, that attack looked crazy to me.
Crazy.
Like, yo, when
Super
He
crazy.
like
flexed
and was buffed up. I was like, oh.
and then he cracked Luffy through the skull a little bit, where I thought, to me, at that moment, I thought he knocked Luffy all the way down
I did
through
too.
it, and then everyone just saw him like just not on the floor laid out. I thought that was about to happen.
Yeah.
So I was like, and then Luffy's just like, out, but then shortly after, we see Luffy running towards him. So I thought Luffy should have, like, I don't know. I expected him to take more damage from it. But I also think it could be adrenaline. Luffy's, like, hyped up on his own willpower. Because also, too, I don't want to knock Luffy's determination here, right? Because Luffy obviously knows the extent how strong Kaido is, because Luffy's giving it everything he's got. Even though he's enjoying himself, Luffy is legit giving all he can to try, exerting himself. Like they mentioned earlier, going past human limits, right? Mm-hmm. Luffy's been knocked down and going after Kaido, and he's getting a lot. And like even showed that like towards the end of the chapter, when they kind of show his face after he's the one that landed kick on Kaido. But you see at Luffy's face, like he's the one in more pain and more damage, the one that's getting more tired out. You know, like you see the look in Luffy's eye. You know, like those lines in there. Like Luffy's becoming exhausted, and this is Luffy after he just ate. And when you know when Luffy after he just eats, he's like, he has so much energy. He's able to go on, like how strong he is. He usually kind of wins, like Goku after he eats. You know, like the energy gets back. But Luffy's already shown that, like even all that food I just ate, I'm still about to gas out. Like I'm using all my energy and all of the reserves I just had. So and then that goes to the Kaido strength, where it's just like Kaido's still like, I want another drink. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're pretty much, but like, I don't know. Like, with the Luffy thing, I'm like mixed feelings about it. I believe he should have took more damage from the attack because that attack looked absolutely crazy to me. He went to hybrid for him like last minute, and then Haki conquers his attack, and then that devastating blow. I wanted to see Luffy. I'm not gonna get knocked out, but because I feel like we see Luffy get knocked out from less.
We got something. He used Ragnarok before.
Yeah.
It didn't look as strong as
It didn't look as strong though.
And he double-handed that. It wasn't
Yeah,
one.
it was a lot.
Was two. Like,
So,
yeah.
what about you, Seb? What do you think?
So I never got the feeling that Luffy should be knocked out. It was too like early in the chapter for that. It did look devastating. So like when I saw Kaido buff up himself and hit him, it reminded me of Zoro when he used to like flex real hard and like
There's the
muscle.
gorilla.
Yeah, gorilla.
that
Yeah.
one.
So, and even Chopper when he does the muscle point joint.
Mm-hmm.
The attack looked great and it looked crazy powerful. I will say this: Luffy did notice the attack was coming, and had ample time to protect himself.
That is true.
So, though we do not see it on panel, I assumed he survived it because he blocked with armament hockey or even conquerors hockey. The way that we see later in the chapter with the headbutt, maybe he cladded himself slightly.
That is very
and
true.
he was able to survive for that. Because to your point, he in base, he shouldn't just be taking that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, but at the same time, it's like Luffy's stronger than he was the last time they fought. So like attacks like this shouldn't be able to put him out. Like this isn't an ultimate attack from Kaido to my knowledge. It just looked crazy strong. So like Luffy has this, I don't want to say renewed will, but he's stronger than he was.
No, yeah, his will
So
got
it's
stronger.
like-
His will got a boost.
I don't expect him to lose to the same attacks. You know,
Yeah.
like even Kaido said, you're not one to take the same attack twice. Even though he took the same attack in this one, kinda, it was a stronger version of it. But I think Luffy probably cladded himself slightly, and that's why he was able to take it. Because he got up almost immediately. Like he went, said it hurt and everything. He was out for a little bit. And then he got up to fight, you know, like he was ready to go again. So I don't know if he took full damage or whatever, but he didn't take the kind of damage that he took the last time he got hit with it, is what I'm saying.
I'm just gonna add to it. No, that's a good point. I didn't think about that because Zoro even mentioned when he was fighting King. He said if he didn't block himself or protect himself with hardening or conquerors or whatever his hockey, he said that probably would have took me out. So you can see that you could survive attacks that could probably end the fight here by using your hockey. So Luffy couldn't. Why? Like you said, he noticed it because we've seen other attacks. I've seen reading the manga when they're fighting. Luffy is noticing attacks. So why wouldn't you brace yourself against this level?
Yeah.
Like Luffy, we've seen Luffy do it before. Like he braced himself. So that's a good way to because it would at least stop him from losing consciousness. He took a lot of damage, but at least the part where it would shake your brain or whatever to lose consciousness, it probably could have stopped it to at least reaching that point.
No,
And I want to say this too, my bad. I know you're about to say,
Yeah.
Kaido should have followed up. Honestly, he goes in. I know he's drinking and stuff. He goes into dragon mode. Bro, follow up on that man.
That's the stuff I be talking about, man.
Consecutive attacks. I think you mentioned this before. Kaido's fighting IQ is lower than it should be. Like if he was at his max proficiency with fighting, he would take everyone out within like that. Because Luffy on the floor holding his head. If he swings on him again with another one, he probably can't block the way I was just talking about. He's not fully aware. So again, he's drinking. He's having fun with it. But if you want to take people out, take them out.
What are you gonna say, Law?
I was gonna say that's the thing where I don't know if it's like not his IQ or he's not like not realizing I could follow up, whatever. It's kind of like he sits back like he's not going all out.
There's no sense of urgency.
Yes.
He doesn't feel the need to follow
Yeah,
up. 'Cause
there's
it doesn't
no
matter.
real threat to him.
I'm
Double
going
tap.
to win.
Double
Yeah.
tap.
He's like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to win. So
Yeah.
I don't need to follow up.
That's what I'm
But
thinking.
if he's fighting like a Shanks or something, he's probably following up.
Yeah.
If he
Hopefully.
can land it. Hopefully.
For me, it's one of those moments where I say to myself, don't think it's plot. Like, don't think it's plot, yo, because you're immediately thinking plot. Don't think it's plot. And it's hard for me because I really think the worst fight in all of One Piece has to be Luffy versus Katakuri.
You're crazy.
It's not because of what happened. It was super entertaining. The emotions were there. It was nice. There's just Luffy only landed like 4 hits. Realistically, he landed like 4 to 5 hits on Katakuri in total. Yeah,
He
bro.
landed more than that. He landed like 4 in Bound Man alone.
No, because I remember me and Sebastian. I'm sorry, Larry. But me and Sebastian got to like a great. I'm gonna say great. A heated discussion. A great debate discussion about this. So we actually compared Luffy's 2 fights. After we compared his fight with Doflamingo and his fight with Katakuri, and we counted the blows that Luffy landed against both.
I don't know what the number was.
Yeah, I don't remember the number, but Luffy landed more on panel more on Katakuri than he did on Doflamingo. And I was like, in your face, Sebastian, because Sebastian tried to.
Oh, so you counted them?
Yeah, we counted them. I don't remember the exact number,
because we had the fight play by play. We counted each one. So yeah.
All right. So I'm probably wrong in that aspect, but it was so significantly lower than what Katakuri was doing, even though Katakuri was stronger than Luffy in every aspect. You know what I'm saying? He landed way more devastating blows than Luffy had done. And that's my biggest problem with that fight, is that there's not an equal amount of blows. It's really like, yo, Luffy can't keep up. He's trying to keep up. And he lands when he lands, and it affects Katakuri so negatively. Meanwhile, Katakuri lands, and he's stronger, and he's not trying to catch up. And Luffy doesn't seem to take any negative effect from them. It's just the story demands he overcomes Katakuri to an extent, and we have to watch him progress. Meanwhile, we have to watch Katakuri digress into being, lesser than Luffy. And it's hard for me to accept that fight. It's hard for me to say that's one of Luffy's greatest fights. And for me, I don't want Kaido to become the next Katakuri. I hate that. Because if he's landing blows like we just seen, and Kaido did take it seriously, and he demolished Luffy, and he hasn't been taking anything seriously. He's been matching their levels.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Like, Luffy has to take, even if he reacted late, he wasn't forcing himself against Kaido like he's always been doing with Conqueror's Haki. He took that to the face. And Kaido, wound up to hit him. And he was, hard. Like, it was a hard, lethal hit. I don't want it to become where, like, Luffy's taking too many of these hits, and now he's not landing too many. Or it's not hurting Kaido at this point, and he's still, like, able to get up. Like, he's still in base form, like Sebastian said. Like, if he's taking it in G4, I'll accept that. I can accept that. But if he's taking it in base form, and he's not hitting back or throwing force back, then that becomes hard for me to accept. And, Kaido does need to double tap on people, man.
You get it.
He needs to double tap, and this seems to be in the Zoan category where, like, we seen Queen do it with Sanji.
Yeah.
Hit Sanji with every Germa move, and then was like, "Let me go to this chick." Meanwhile, this dude just disappeared, and I couldn't find him. And King kind of does the same thing too. It's like these Zoans happen to do that. They're very susceptible to getting hit, and they don't mind getting hit. But they also don't hit back. And that bothers me. So, yeah. All right. So let's go to question number 4. Do you want to say something?
Couple things. I put up another poll in the chat. Strongest Yonko. And I put Kaido, Shanks, Big Mom, and Blackbeard. The poll is still up. Right now, Kaido's in the lead at 43%. Shanks second at 38%. Blackbeard third at 14%. And Big Mom fifth with 5%. Super Gamer Guy is in the chat on a Mihawk tirade, which is hilarious.
Listen, Marv, can you just close the live chat? Kick everybody out. They said Blackbeard's third.
Yo,
Come
Blackbeard,
on, bro.
man.
All right, so anyway, let's go to question 4. We get to the part of the chapter that has the One Piece community speculating heavy. We meet with the Gorosei and Marie Joa, and they are discussing if they should strike now since Nico Robin has most likely been captured. But they further explain that with Kaido and Big Mom involved, death can come easily for anyone. Was this a foreshadow to someone actually dying in Wano? And if so, who do you believe it is? and we'll Sebastian go.
As people who are longtime viewers of this show will know, I am a big supporter of Law dying in Wano and potentially saving Luffy, like sacrificing his life to bring Luffy back, like from death or potential death. So to me, it would be Law that they're foreshadowing with this statement. But as we know, like Oda don't be killing people, so it's really like a hope against hope. So odds are ain't nobody dying. But if I had to bet my money on anyone, Law or Kinemon would have the most death flags. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it would be Law, one of them two. If I had to choose, I would probably say Kinemon because it would have a bigger impact on Momo and his growth. If I could choose myself, it would be both. If I had to choose one, it would be Law.
Okay.
Because I think it would have a bigger impact on the community as a whole. And I just don't know where Law goes from here. Like, learning the history is cool, but, like, the Straw Hat's supposed to do that. Like, I don't need Law to do that. So.
Okay. What about you, Law?
Oh, I'm gonna say, especially when we introduced you to the show, we mentioned One Piece taking abilities was a thing. From the get, we established that, right? It's not that Oda don't be killing people, that everyone's taking, like, even the fodder just be stronger than we seen in other shows where, well, remember, One Piece taking abilities, all right? But anyway.
I ain't trying to hear that.
This one is interesting because it's not about who we think is going to die in Wano. Because I got the more impression is who does the Gorosei want to kill and then cover it up, blaming the Yonko. You know? So that's what it'd be like, who are they after? Because they want to take Robin alive. So it's not killing off her and blaming it on the Yonko. They want her alive. Law, I thought Sebastian, Law actually does kind of fit that category because, but I don't know if they need him alive for that because they wanted his fruit from before. You know, they wanted that ability for reasons, right? But I'm trying to think, is that the one they want to cover up though? They blame it on, well, what do you expect? You had two Yonkos meeting up and there was a war going on, and you know how strong they are. Casualties are going to happen. So who would they want to kill to cover up in this? That's what I'm thinking. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be Drake? I'm trying to think who here, you know? Maybe it could be, honestly, who would fit that? Because they want Wano, Momonosuke. If they want Wano...
No, that's not going to happen.
I know it's not going to happen.
That's definitely...
But I'm trying to think...
Momo's not dying,
Because they want control over, Wano.
Yeah.
So who do they have to kill to get that?
Well, they're not going to control Wano.
I know,
Well, you
but
say
they
who they're
want to.
targeting.
Yeah,
Who they're
for
targeting.
that, they said for casualties. Because Momo's not going to work in line with the world government.
Yeah.
He's not. So it's like, all right, who can we... And Rochi maybe, since this business deal went down with Kaido, but I doubt they would want to use Rochi. So it's like, who would they kill to replace in Wano so they could have Wano? Because they want it. They're not going to get it, but they want this territory.
Yeah.
So it's like, who could they cover up to try to get it? They're working that fight. I don't know if that's exactly their end goal because they're kind of focused on Robin, but I understand is to cover up a kill with the Yonkos. What's their best interest here that works in their favor?
Okay.
Yeah.
But did you say who?
I don't think you did.
I didn't.
You always do this. You never give an answer.
It's leaving it with the question.
Soliloquies of questions, but no answer.
Because to me, that's who I believe that's what they're trying to do.
I need you to answer the question, Lawrence.
I didn't name a few people, though. I said Momosuke, I said Drake, I said Law.
All right, so Momonosuke, Drake, Law. Those are your three that you think will die.
Mostly Law and Momo, because I don't know how Drake fits into what they want.
Should I do a
Yeah.
poll on
Only
most
because-
likely to die?
Because I don't know. I still don't understand if they know of Drake. Why did he go so hard to beat Drake down, and why was Drake so down to fight the world government? They're supposed to be allies. That's what I never understood.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't make sense to me.
Okay.
Because like his cover was blown, and they know that. Drake, you actively went to go fight the world government. You're a Marine. The world government, you actively sought to go fight Drake. Something doesn't make sense to me here. They're supposed to be allies. I don't know.
Okay.
But
I think Law makes the best sense.
yeah.
But I'm more in the sense of who's coming to Wano, and that's probably Blackbeard, and Marco will probably be the one dying.
Oh, I forgot about Marco.
So I don't. If it's between Law and Kid versus Big Mom, and then Law has to die, and then Kid is like the one that moves forward, I would hate that. Like, I think Kid deserves to die before Law. So it's either gonna be Marco which I think it's more or less going to be Marco. Because his devil fruit's going to have to get taken.
They should
at
probably
one point.
want his fruit.
Yeah, and then it's either going to be Law, Kid, or Marco.
Law, Kid.
But I'm more on the Marco, and I think Kid is next in line. So those are my three.
I'm telling you right now, Sebastian, if Marco dies without showing nothing, where does that leave you with Marco's view?
We're not gonna have that conversation.
I know,
because it's
I'm
gonna last forever.
I'm not saying for us.
Yeah.
This is just
It wouldn't change it. I just want to point this out. They could have just still been talking about Robin, based off of the trend, like how the wording was and how vague it was. They could have just been talking about Robin.
But do they want to kill her? Because then if they're trying to capture her alive,
They would rather she's captured for them or just dead.
They're gonna
fact that
they're gonna
she's
have her
out
captured.
there-
No, they would have her captured for them.
You know what I'm saying?
Because if she's the only one that could read it,
because that's not because in the beginning when she was a little girl, they wanted her
But
dead.
they most likely have people in the government that can read. There's no doubt about that. They wouldn't just kill off O'Hara and they have these things that they can't translate.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
Nah, I mean,
Listen, bro.
if someone could do it, maybe it's Eam. But like,
She's the person that's out there that they don't have control over. But if they have control of people who could already read it, then she's an endanger because she empowers people that aren't controlled by them.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like they would.
Oh,
they would
okay,
kill
so
her,
they
you know
probably
what I'm
kill
saying?
her. Yeah,
they would
they'll
kill
probably
her.
kill her.
Like it's like, yo, this is your only avenue to unlocking the truth.
Yeah.
Kill her.
But
Live your truth.
That's
But,
it.
but their main focus is because in the beginning when she was a little girl, they wanted her dead. But it seemed like it
Hush
switched.
up, little girl.
Well, they
It's
want
like-
to know what she's read because the people underneath they don't know the true history either. But like again, it's either capture her for us or die. You can't be out in the wild the way she is. That's the problem.
Okay.
Out running about.
So let's go to the next question before we start taking calls.
Well,
All right. So the last and final question of the show. Okay. So finally, we are made aware that a shadow resembles an island has appeared. The youngest elder and the oldest elder with the birthmark are arguing about an impossibility. That impossibility is of a devil fruit that hasn't awakened for centuries upon centuries has appeared. The youngest elder yells, "Then why would the world government bother to give that one specific devil fruit another name? It's to erase that devil fruit from the annals of history, isn't it?" Then we cut back to Wano to see Zunisha has arrived. What did you guys think about that conversation with the Gorosei? And what are your thoughts on Zunisha appearing? And we'll go with Lawrence first.
Honestly, this is a very interesting conversation because honestly, I don't know what they're talking about. I'm trying to think because I feel like there's a lot of fruits that they want, right? And we already see that the world government they have the same MO.
Yeah.
They want something, it gets out in the public. Oh snap, we got to cover it up. They're like that is their go-to, like So it's like, what ability is it this time? Because they want so many. We talked to and they kind of threw a bunch of abilities in the air about dragons, laws, maybe not so much, but they had Luffy's before Luffy got it. They want Bonnies. So it's like there's so many fruits that they want. So which one are they talking about right now? Which one is the fruits the most? Because it means like right now to do this, maybe it's the most, in their eyes, the most valuable fruit. I'm not sure because they didn't really give much evidence. And then having Zunisha show up could be that. But the thing is, but why would they want this one? Maybe because it kind of shows it. How long they said Zunisha has been around? What, 8,000 years? Was it?
No, 800 years.
800 years. Maybe because, in a way, maybe with that ability, you're kind of like undying. You don't die. You're, because I don't think any human that can eat that is going to live for 800 years.
Yeah.
So maybe they want that to experiment on. I don't know. So it could lead to that. Because I think that's the only known, that's a Zohan, I'm guessing, ability. Or maybe it's not a Zohan ability. Maybe it was just an elephant that ate a different ability that grew to that size. Maybe it was like a colossal ability. Like an elephant ate a colossal ability and they wanted that for whatever reason. I don't know. So it's interesting here, but it's leading to Zonisha's, but the thing is, why would they want it? How does this benefit them?
Yeah.
Because also too, honestly, the world government just mentioned that and they show them, but we don't really know much of anything about the world government. We just know they have power.
Yeah.
We have no idea how they got there and what's their game plan because we see the Marines more, but the world government they're so secretive, which is actually kind of dope because like spies and secret agents, even though they don't get much light, that's basically them. They're behind the scenes, behind the Marines. The Marines are their face. The world governments strictly work in the shadows.
Yeah.
So that's why we don't know much about them. So they're always plotting something, you know. So to me, it's like it's kind of up in the air, and it looks like Zunisha, but like why though? How does this fit to their power or their scheme? I think the only way to fully answer this question is they don't say it. But even with all the gameplay, we got to find out more, like kind of like what led to the world government in power. You know, we need more answers from them.
Okay. What about you, Seb? What do you think?
It's funny because I asked in the chat, "What's your best Zunisha theory?" And the people are rolling up a bunch.
Yeah.
And 2 people said 2 that I have here in my phone already in my notes. Benny K says the devil fruit that they're talking about is Otama's devil fruit, and the former user of the fruit 800 years ago gave it to Zunisha and has complete control over them and punished them with the fruit. And I kind of like that one. I saw it on Grand Line's channel. I kind of like that one because it's out of the... Like, nobody was thinking of that. I wasn't thinking of that when I read it. And it still makes sense because it ties into what her fruit does. It controls animals and what they can do. And if you could control an animal this large, that's kind of crazy. Like, that's like you saw this wipe out.
She's like Shirahoshi.
Yeah.
To an
Like,
extent.
I don't know if there's multiple Zunishas walking around, but Zunisha wiped out Jack's fleet. That's a Yonko's 3rd commander on a one swing. She can do real damage. So, like, that was one I really liked, and it ties into the fact that they were talking about a devil fruit. I don't remember what Tama's devil fruit's name is. I think Larry's looking it up now. But, like...
It's a Kibi Kibi no Mi.
Yeah. So maybe that's the only way she's figured out how to use it, but maybe it's called something else.
I forgot about hers.
It's possible that it's specifically, like, they're talking about Zunisha itself. Another theory that I had written down in my notes that I saw online was that Zunisha is Joy Boy, and he has been punished, possibly through the same means, to walk the earth for eternity. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I like that one as much as I like the Otama one.
I don't know.
But it would tie into how it's serious the world government, like because this is the Gorosei. Like, it's not world government officials. These are people who have knowledge of the history of the world that I report directly to him that are like crapping their pants because of this situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, we saw Sweat and we saw the Gandhi dude. Like, damn, like, this isn't good.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something high level. Those are the 2 that I thought of when I was looking online because I couldn't think of anything.
Yeah.
When you asked the question, I was like, I read this chapter like 4 times and I couldn't think of anything. I thought of the Joy Boy one, but I was like, nah, because that hat was too small. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't fit Zunisha's head, but I was like, maybe it's not Joy Boy's hat, whatever. And then it was like, maybe it is. And then I saw the Tama one, and I just think it's had such a major impact on the raid on Onigashima. And the fact that she like knocked herself out screaming a command to the people saying, help me take down Kaido. If that reached Zunisha on some like, yo, the devil fruit still has a tie on Zunisha, and she was able to command it unknowingly because she put that much energy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot of a stretch, it's a lot of reaches, but like, I don't know, I kind of like it. I do.
Wait.
So that was
Go back to what you said. You said,
you know,
who gave the fruit to who to control?
Oh, so basically the theory is that like somebody back in the day had this fruit and used it on Zunisha to control them. Punish them for whatever they did. The punishment part is why people connected it to Joy Boy. Because it's like Joy Boy apologized for not being able to help the fishmen people on that one poneglyph. And if he's being punished for either not helping or because he was trying to help, it could tie into what Zunisha's going through. Again, this is all speculative as hell. It's just like you're trying to piece the puzzle pieces together. But like, just in general, it doesn't need to be a Joy Boy thing specifically. One of them just says Joy Boy. But the Otama one is the one that I gravitated to when I was reading up on it.
That Punisher was like very Greek mythology esque, like
Mm-hmm.
Zeus punishing the Titans and making them carry a filling on their back and
and
walk
in
around.
like Hindi lore, I think, or Hindi mythology, that there is a giant elephant, or is it Greek? There is a giant
It's a
elephant.
Hindu.
It's
Yeah.
Hindu, yeah. There's a giant elephant that carries the world on its back. Which when I saw Zoth the first time, I was like, oh, it's a reference to that. If there's more to that story, maybe that'll tell us the answer. But I don't know it personally, so.
All right, so there's a couple good things that you guys mentioned, to be honest. For me, let me just start with the Gorosei conversation. I was really surprised to see that the youngest Gorosei was didn't know of things that the older Gorosei knew about. So it got us to a perspective that now there's a hierarchy in the Gorosei that I didn't think that was there before. I thought that they were all equal footing.
Yeah.
But now there isn't one because the youngest one was like, questioning the world government itself, which means that he's probably not in it as much as I thought. And I thought that was so interesting because we just learned something about the Gorosei. So there's a hierarchy. There's information being kept from
Even them.
even them
Yeah.
Or
with
him
each other.
specifically, yeah.
So that's crazy in itself. To go to Zunisha appearing, I'm glad I called it.
Yeah,
because I'm right.
I'm mad. I forgot to do that. I wanted to give you your credit on the chat, on the show. If y'all
For
had
everybody
not
to be saying I got hot takes and they don't be good takes, guess what? I called something right twice in Wano.
More
Let's go.
importantly than Zunisha showing up, Larry called this moment months ago. I want to say like May, when we first started the channel. And it's rare for Larry to be this right,
No,
this
I'm
hard.
always right.
So I wanted to
Everybody
give it
in the
up.
chat knows I'm right. Everybody.
But yeah, no, he called it though.
So,
he did.
He called it.
to go to the Zunisha part, and when they were talking about the fruit, right? It goes, then why would the world government bother to give that one specific devil fruit another name? It's to erase the devil fruit from the annals of history, isn't it? I think this is us seeing Zunisha is another mythical Zoan. Like we seen the mythical Zoan of Buddha with Sengoku, right? We're seeing this one from the Hindi mythology of the elephant. And the elephant does walk across the ocean. I think that it is somebody from 800 years ago, but they were only controlled by people who have the voice of all things. And the reason why it can't be Tama is because Tama's ability doesn't work on Zoan natural users. It only works on the Smile Devil Fruit users who have animal-like characteristics. So it doesn't work on actual Zoan users. That's to that point. So that crushes that theory.
Is that been confirmed yet?
Yeah, it says it right here on the
Has
homepage.
she? I'm saying, has she tried to use it on a Zohan that wasn't an artificial one?
It says it is unknown if these dangos can affect eaters of faulty smiles, but it is known that they do not work on natural Zoan users.
It doesn't work, or it just hasn't.
It doesn't work.
Hasn't done
And
yet?
the reason why it also doesn't work, even if that information wasn't present, is because when Zunisha talked to Momonosuke, Zunisha asked Momonosuke to command her to do something.
That's true.
So if that is possible, that would directly be a contradiction to Tama's ability. So that can't work. So I think that also the reason why Zunisha is here is because Zunisha was called by Momonosuke on accident. When Momonosuke was having those headaches, and he was on that Shinobu's lap, I think, or Yamato's lap, and he was experiencing it, that's when I knew, like, the only other time we've ever seen him do that is when Zunisha was nearby or coming, or he was in contact with Zunisha. That's why I said Zunisha's coming. But I also thought Zunisha was going to carry the island. But I think Momonosuke is going to do that now.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting that the Gorosei are talking about this fruit is because they do have certain fruits that they have in mind that they've kept in their books that they go, hey, these are dangers to our existence, to our ruling. We have to be aware of these fruits. Now, to have that fruit itself be hidden or given another name, like Zunisha, instead of like what it actually is, they're definitely talking about Zunisha. Let's get that one.
You
I think
100% you
it's
100% believe that.
100% about Zunisha. I do think because of what Sebastian said, Zunisha was able to take out islands by itself. It was able to take out a third rank commander with ease. It can destroy anything. If somebody has the voice of all things and brought Zunisha to Marie Joa, they would destroy Marie Joa. If a vice admiral, if they can take on Zunisha's trunk, you know, which I expect they should, would destroy Marie Joa, like easily. It is comprehensible to say that it's comparable to Shirahoshi's ability. It's like 20% of being Poseidon at this point. But if whoever has the voice of all things, which could be many people, unlike Poseidon being one person, this is kind of more of a danger because this is more accessible than Poseidon is controlling Sea Kings. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're saying like we had to give this another name. We had to erase this from the history books just because we don't want this information to get out because then people want to learn about it and then they know about it and then it becomes a danger. So it's Zunisha 1. Otama has no effect on this. And this is like a mini Poseidon, which we all said when we first saw Momonosuke do this. We were like, yo, he's not Uranus. I think Uranus is something completely different as well. He's not Uranus. Uranus has to do something with observation, I'm convinced. But this is very Poseidon-like, bro.
Yo, honestly, thinking about like it might be Zunisha because thinking about it too, I started thinking how, like I said, for their purpose and how valuable this is. 800 years. Imagine like they wanted and they were able to, for example, replicate it like they did Kaido's ability, right? So now you have other. Obviously, they don't all have to be elephants or whatever. Because I don't know if it's the thing makes you an elephant or the elephant ate it. I don't know exactly that, but just say like for example, it is an elephant or a mammoth. You have a bunch of these walking around, and you put marine bases on all of them. This is how they control the seas.
Yo, you want to hear something crazier?
Oh, wow.
You want to hear something crazier? If Vegapunk replicated the mythical elephant fruit and had like 6 of them, and then they had like a voice of all things user on their side, that's Poseidon.
You think it's the equivalent of Poseidon?
It would be close enough to Poseidon. It's not Poseidon overall because there's so many Sea Kings, right? Like Poseidon could take the calm belt and make it a weapon.
There's a couple leaps in not logic, but like expectation of what people can do there. But you're right. But like, we don't know if it's only Momo that can do this. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
we
would
expect,
they have to get Momo?
We expect. No, I'm saying if there's other people like Odin was one, Roger is one, Luffy's one, like Momo's one. Like if they had somebody on the government side, just apparently they have their own little Poseidon. It would be a diluted form, but even the pacifistas are a diluted form of what Kizaru is. Because imagine if Vegapunk replicated these devil fruits, like I said before.
The Sea Kings aren't this big though. Are they? Are they as big as Zunisha?
I want to say yes.
You remember that zebra one that the One Piece ship was on? I mean, the Goa Mary was on. It was near it, but the thing is, right? Even if it's not as big as Zunisha, we've seen Zunisha take damage on its legs from the Kaido pirates, the Beast Pirates, when Jack was there. Imagine a calm belt of Sea Kings attacking Zunisha. Yeah. She wouldn't stand a chance.
She wouldn't.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
But like 50 Zunisha. No,
that's what I was getting at before about like them replicating this. Because I'm thinking about, you know how first I thought of like an army of this. You put marine bases on top of them.
That too.
And then they just roam whatever.
That too. You got to think bigger. An army of Zunishas could possibly destroy the Red Line.
It would be
like it could be that level of like different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So Attack on Titan, the biggest power is the rumbling. So on Attack on Titan, Eren is able to summon all these colossal titans and make them walk through the earth. It's called the rumbling. Yeah. If that happens, they would stomp over everything on earth. It's the most dangerous weapon on Attack on Titan. Yeah. Zunisha's replicated can do that.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get. Like,
crazy.
Yo, weird with marine base on that. So you have like an army on top of that to. I think
it'd be like the Germa 666.
Yeah, but instead of this giant snails,
oh my gosh,
pretty much giant Unisys just roaming around.
So I think that everybody wants it to be a little bit too convoluted. I think everybody's making it too complicated. If my reading comprehension is correct, we seen them talk about this fruit, and then Zunisha immediately appeared after.
Yeah.
That has to be in reference to Zunisha. It can't be to Tama. Tama is nowhere even in the chapter. for that to
That's
be
true.
said. So it's just people picking, wanting to make it interesting, but overall, I think that.
No,
You're probably right.
Yeah.
then it makes sense, like you said.
But the thing is, the one thing I'm worried about
How's
is
it walking in water?
is the same thing I worry about Toki, where Toki's able to break the show with her being from the voice entry and being able to give us information that we might necessarily may not want in a certain way. And I think that if they took Zunisha and Zunisha offered that information, please do not tell me all of the information. Tell me something little and have it in some way have Laugh Tale tell me it. Because
I am shocked you said that.
well, it's because I want
Him
one.
of all people.
Well, I want One Piece to be great.
Yeah.
Like I want One Piece to satisfy my curiosity and to satisfy the lore of One Piece. If I'm given that, the same way Usopp asked Rayleigh what One Piece was, and Luffy goes, Usopp Kun! And he yelled at him.
Yeah.
I would do that to Zunisha. You know what I'm saying? So
That's how I feel about Yamato.
anyway, those are all the questions I have for today. If you can, Marv, can you put up the number? And we're going to have some of the people call us up and ask us questions themselves. We will be super nice.
Like
so
always,
please, yeah, like always. But
We're only mean to each other slightly, kind of.
yeah,
I mean, we're not even mean to each other, just that we come at each other.
it's love, man. It's love and passion.
brotherly
When
love.
you passionate and lovable, you're going to get this. All right?
Oh man, that
Yeah.
was good though. That was good stuff.
What, the questions?
The questions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
man.
Zunisha discussion.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
what happened?
Benny K said Larry actually starting to hit on some things for today. Yeah, man, it's been a long time coming.
Yo, y'all better stop disrespecting me.
he
bro.
has his moments,
Y'all know
yo.
I be
he
right,
does.
bro.
He has his moments.
Nah, y'all know I be right, bro.
They said my man went 2 for 20. Russell Westbrook status. Nah, you good. Listen, he got it, man. He got
Y'all
it.
need to chill, bro.
A lot of
How
people
do-
talking the Toki theory in here too.
about what?
Just in general, the fruit they're talking about is Tokis. And I personally wouldn't like it, but
Yo, we got a call. Let's go. Yo, Mark, can you tell us when it's live? Oh, it's live. Hey, what's going on? This is Larry from that One Piece Talk. Who's calling? Nah?
no.
No? Maybe they should call back?
Oh no.
Yeah, try call back, guys, if you went in and had an issue.
We sorry about that.
Apologies.
Yo, Benny, I'm gonna put you in a chokehold, bro. Hey, oh, this is Larry from that One Piece Talk. What's going on? Who is this?
Hey, this is Arjun Molly from last week.
Hey, what's going on, brother?
What's going on?
Hey, I was like, I thought it was really cool you guys brought up the like religious symbolism of Zunisha. So like, I actually Googled it, and there is a story of like 4 elephants holding up the world. So that was a good deep cut. But also, there's a Hindu god named Ganesha, who's like whole thing is removing obstacles. So I think Zunisha's gonna kind of like remove the obstacle of the world's government, so like the Star Path can escape.
Yo, that would be the
That
only
would-
way they would be able to escape, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
do shit
mean-
just goes just smacking all the world
No,
government.
if they just escaped on Zunisha, they're not gonna catch Zunisha on a boat.
I mean, they're not. Are you saying
I didn't
they're
even
gonna
think
put
of I didn't even think of
Sunny on?
Zunisha actually being an escape plan.
Yeah, because Wano's on top of a giant waterfall, right?
Yeah.
So it's like if it's high up enough that they could like traverse it to get to Zunisha, or are you saying they're gonna go down and then go all the way back
No,
up?
no, hold on. The Onigashima may still fall, but if Zunisha's right near them and
could be the thing
Zunisha's
that saves
pulled
them.
away, I mean Onigashima's pulled away enough, that means that they're just gonna hop on Zunisha and escape. I didn't even think of that.
Well, wouldn't you want the Straw Hats to fight their way to the world government?
Listen, man, there's things I want and things that I know is not gonna happen.
Listen, Zunisha is super strong. She could wipe that whole fleet of whatever is in front of her out.
But also too, the feast. Where do you guys think the feast is gonna be?
Oh, it'd be on Zunisha.
You think
It
it's
could
gonna
be on Zunisha. I would assume it's on Wano, right?
I mean, it would
Yeah.
have to be.
With the because
It's got to be on Wano.
All right, now I'm confused.
It's got to be on Wano, bro.
I'm
Zunisha could be a part of the feast.
Hold on. What do you think? Do you think what do you think about what we're saying?
You still there?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was just thinking they'd probably escape on Momonosuke if he wasn't like super tired and climb onto Zunisha from him.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, like the whole of Wano? Is he big enough for that?
No.
The Straw Hats.
Momo basically moved the island like from like above the island. So the island's gonna explode. So he would move it from above Wano. It would detonate and like crumble in the ocean. But like the alliance would escape onto Zunisha either from like Zunisha's trunk or like some sort of from like Momonosuke maybe flying them up after the island explodes or something.
Okay.
Okay,
He can
interesting.
also drop the island on Zunisha.
No.
Zunisha be alright.
No, Zunisha would not be all
She
right.
alright.
That was whoops, though.
PETA's watching right now.
He is watching right now. When did we start?
When did we do
pushes
that? Great question though, man. Honestly, it's
that
got
was
me
a good-
thinking. That was really cool.
Yeah, it got me thinking now. Like, I'm like, yo, how are they going to escape now?
Honestly, 'cause
I don't think they escape. I think they stay on Wano for an extended period of time.
if the feast is gonna happen on Wano, it makes sense. It's just interesting how Zunisha plays out in this. Because also too, we still have the world government, the CPO still on it. That's their also, I guess, their escape route. I don't know how they got here. but-
Miles in the chat said, if an admiral is on any of those ships, Zunisha getting put in a body bag. So
Yo,
call PETA, man.
PETA, man. Well, thank you for the question, man. Did you have any other questions?
No, that was it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
No,
no,
thank
big
you
ups
for calling.
to Larry for predicting Zunisha.
Wait, what'd you say?
Big ups to Larry for predicting Zunisha.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did. He did.
yeah, that
Yeah,
was
play,
good.
Let's go!
Yeah, that was good. You know, give Larry his credit. You know?
Larry's
Let's
credit,
go!
man.
I'll be right. Yo.
He did it, man.
It works
Did it.
60% of the time, every time.
I want y'all to know that we didn't disagree. But he was right. He called it. I ain't called it.
Thank you so much for calling up, man. Seriously, I appreciate it.
Yeah, have a good one.
Have a good night. Keep enjoying. Oh, man. Any other calls, Marv? A lot of calls?
A lot of
Jesus.
calls. I'm going to have to get my personal
We might have to
number
start
out.
doing this a little earlier.
Oh, tell him to call back. Tell him to call back. Call back if you called before. Sorry about that.
We might have to do it not 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes.
It's hard to get through all these questions.
Yeah.
Like 5 questions takes up like an hour, maybe.
Yeah, we be talking a lot.
Yeah, we got to start shutting up.
Especially you, because you don't give answers.
Lawrence be saying
How many
words.
times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Lawrence will say everything but answer the question.
He does it with everything, bro. You
I
do
be
it with
answering
everything,
questions. I be
bro.
answering questions, man.
Nah, bro.
Sometimes I answer with another question. I'm trying to get you guys to think. I'm a thinker, okay?
I'm a visual learner.
If you give
I have
me,
to see it.
if you give me answers, yeah, you can pick it up. Hey, what's going on? This is Larry from That One Piece Talk. Who's calling? Hello?
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Mosh, mosh.
Mosh Mosh.
Is it me you're looking for?
Yo,
What's going on? Who's calling?
it's Shane.
Shane, my boy! Yo, Shane's actually one of the moderators on TikTok for us.
Oh,
All right.
right.
yeah.
Hey, what up? What
Yeah,
up?
what's going on, Shane? How
y'all?
are you, man?
I'm doing good. Y'all good? Like with the whole COVID thing? I know y'all.
Oh.
That Young was like about a week ago.
Yeah, Sebastian got us sick,
see?
man. It was either Sebastian or Lawrence, but
Shane,
I haven't seen y'all.
I
don't know.
never tested positive. That's all I want to say.
I didn't
was
test
sick.
positive either.
I
I
ain't
was
either.
sick, but I was
Good.
good.
I ain't get tested, but still.
I had something else. I don't know what it was.
He had to clap. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Shane's probably like, what are you talking about? All right, my bad, Shane. Go.
All right, so like y'all know I gotta push my law agenda, right?
Laws.
So
Who? Wait, what?
laws, I gotta push my law agenda.
Oh, go
no,
ahead. Go
okay.
ahead, bro.
So he's admiral level. I know. Yeah. Yeah, he's big admiral. And I got like so many. I got so many ways to explain this. Like,
Yo, Shane, I'm about to take you off from being a moderator,
show
bro.
you. No, bro. But you gotta listen
No,
to
let
this.
him get his
Listen to
off.
this.
Go ahead, explain.
You gotta speak, bro. Big Mom has been damaged 2 times in the whole series, right?
Okay.
First time was like what, a knee scrape. And that was when she was like having her temper tantrum after after the picture broke.
Yep.
I was like, nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that. But still, that was the only way that you could damage her that we knew of, that anybody knew of at that point in the story.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
She's had a day fight with Kaido. They've scrapped. People say it wasn't even fair, but you're fighting Kaido. You're taking blows from Kaido. That's a lot of damage. Okay, who you are.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't got any serious ailments or damages from that scrap. That's a day-long fight.
Okay.
She's been damaged a second time in the series. And guess who did it? Guess who did it? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, like Law's ability, it means like nobody in the verse is untouchable from him now. Anybody can get touched. Big Mom has like top verse durability. Anybody can get touched with the crew.
Lawrence, your name is Law. You go ahead, man.
Okay.
What do you think, Law, about his question?
It's a good question. Thanks for calling. Law, he does have great potential. You know, we can't refute that. Like, you know, he's the top 3 with Luffy.
Well, his Devil Fruit is the best Devil Fruit in the verse that we know of right now.
The best?
It's definitely top.
I mean,
2 and it's
yeah,
not
Oda
2.
said that Kaido is his top offensive, but
Yeah.
in
Oda
terms
don't
of like
know.
versatility,
Shane, Oda don't
yeah,
know what he talking about. Oda don't know what he talking about.
No, but he said
Oda.
he meant like offensive wise, offensive capability.
Even so, like flame burns hotter than magma. But keep going.
It depends on
True.
the flame, though.
yeah, you're right.
And we seen Ace access the green flame.
Yo, y'all avoiding the topic.
Just go-
Admiral's not losing the law. There is no Admiral. Baby Green Bull. I don't know what he got.
Green flame is not the hottest flame.
Fujitora, Akainu, Sengoku.
He did fight.
Listen,
Wait, no, I'm not. Wait. He
listen,
did take on
Aokiji-
Fujitora and Doflamingo.
You see what you
Listen,
did, Shane?
At the same time,
I'm
though.
like Law. He don't want no smoke with no Admiral, boy. They fight for days.
What are you talking about?
10 days.
Wait, first of all,
10 days.
Fujitora got bandaged by Sabo.
Oh my god, he was not even
Sabo,
trying.
all Sabo throws is like fire. Like he did up claws, bro. Like he has a claw for a hand, bro. That's what he does. That's his attack.
Sabo has a mastery of hockey. Like he has a crazy amount of
Sabo
destructive
mess around.
power.
Mastery of hockey. Is Sabo making Big Mom bleed? Yes or no?
He
He has the
Does he have
potential to do
Rio?
it.
No. You see
Does
the
he have
stuttering,
Rio?
bro? Because you know it's that. You know it's cat.
Listen, if Sabo has Rio, he can damage Big Mom, man.
Bro,
She not
Fujitora couldn't
impervious.
even break the bird cage, fam.
He wasn't trying
Right
to, bro.
He wasn't
Listen,
trying
he
to?
was
You
betting
think
on
he was
Luffy.
though?
He was betting on Luffy. That was a
It
narrative-driven
wasn't-
decision.
Yeah.
Fujitora could
was
take
betting on-
Doflamingo out. He could take Law out too, man. Stop
Listen,
it.
I gotta say, like, I'm unsure
Admiral
now.
level?
No, wait,
because
he's not
hold
saying
on,
be Admiral.
because if Big Mom loses to Kid and Law who aren't Admiral level, that shit is going to bother me, dog. It's going to bother me.
The gap is not as big as y'all think it is.
Hold on, Kid is not
Like,
Admiral
they're
level,
there
but
now.
Law
Kid,
is
yo, no,
close
kid
enough.
trash, kid trash.
Yo, but I remember.
You gotta be able to fight and be the Admiral.
No, because remember, Zoro was out in the movie, but he was fighting Fujitora, and is that not showing in case that
That's
Zoro
non-canon though.
Yeah.
we not
It's not
throwing
canon.
that. That's
No,
non
that's
canon.
not showing that Zoro's Admiral level.
It's not.
Absolutely
Why
not.
not?
Lawrence,
Why not?
Lawrence.
Why
you're-
not?
Is Marco Admiral level? What we talking about? He fought an Admiral for a little bit.
Margot is not
He
Admiral
wasn't.
level.
No. But he
For a
wasn't
little
legitly
bit.
fighting admirals.
He said a little
Yeah.
bit.
He's classy.
You're forgetting.
I don't know about fighting.
Remember, it's
Bro.
like the one Marco wasn't legitly fighting admirals. Them Fujitora and Zoro were legit fighting. Fujitora was even saying Zoro, "Let me pass.
Okay, so
Let me pass." He wouldn't even let him go.
Fujitora
Couldn't
said,
even
"I
pass
know."
Zoro.
are you talking
Hold
about when
this
he was on?
mirror
Hold on,
out.
hold on. You were talking about when he was on Greenbit? Because Zoro got his ass put down.
That
Yeah,
one. First of all,
yeah,
that wasn't a. They weren't fighting it. It was a. It was
Glide.
Fujitora came out of nowhere.
We're not going to use non-canon material
No,
to
but he-
support our debates.
But remember, Fujitora came out of nowhere. Then
Who cares?
we seen top tier people when people
We
come out of
seen
nowhere.
you precedent. No, bro. All right. Anyway, Shane,
I'm saying,
you're our guy, bro.
Law's
Thank you.
not too far off from Lamar.
What's he got another one?
What were you gonna say, Shane?
I just want to point out that Law is one of the few people in this story to get double teamed by a warlord and admiral at the same time.
Yo, bro, he's
You know what I'm
really
saying? And
he's really on
survive
top.
that.
And survive it? Well, they weren't trying to kill him.
Yo, it's crazy because Kid just did that, but whatever.
Kid.
He was getting handicapped by a supernova
Yeah, handicap.
Yes, and fighting Big Mom, and he's still good. So what's up? What's up?
Love, bro.
What
Bro,
what's
first
up?
of all,
Kid
comparing
trash
Kid to
though.
Law is wild. Comparing Kid to Law is wild.
They're
Kid is
comparing-
Are you tripping?
They're-
You're tripping on that
Nah,
one.
he
You're
not
tripping on
tripping.
that one.
Nah, he not tripping.
They're the top
He's
three.
actually speaking
Yeah,
facts.
they're
the top
all
three. They're the
Y'all
top
better
three for a
stop
reason.
disrespecting Shane because
Listen,
he right.
Law will get to Admiral level soon. He not there yet.
He's not too
not there
far.
yet.
Though. He's not
He's
too
not
far.
too
though.
far.
He's not too far.
What
Is
do
what
you
I'm saying.
mean?
He's not too far
Okay,
off from Robin.
so what has Law not showed us? His stamina during the raid has
Durability.
been wild. Tell me it
He's
hasn't.
durable. Law's
He's-
durable.
Tell me
He
it hasn't.
has to show his hockey
Admirals
more.
fight for days. 10
You
days.
Yeah, Law can't fight for
10
days.
How do you?
days.
That's only because his ability legit, just like Blackbeard's thing,
You
does
got
double
it.
damage to deplete his stamina. That is the
Hold
only
on,
reason.
Let Shane talk. Let Shane talk. What'd you say, Shane?
So you gotta look at what we've seen in the past of the story and size it up to what we're seeing from Law now. Was he able to cut Fujitora's meteors? Yes. That's one. That's one ability.
Don't
Listen,
Flamingo
That
Birdcage
we-
did that. Don't Flamingo
Birdcage
Slash did that.
Doflamingo's Birdcage is bro. Oh my.
I'm saying,
You
I'm
forget
saying a
Doflamingo-
technique
Law
that
beats
Doflamingo put
Doflamingo
up
too.
without even putting effort into. He just put that up.
we got to get Shane on the show, bro.
Oh, man. We gotta take one more
Bro,
call. Shane,
please put me out here.
Shane,
Bro,
I appreciate
bro,
the call,
also-
man.
Oh my gosh, it's time.
we got to get one
Oh
more person
my
in here, bro. One more.
All
person.
right, all
Oh,
right,
that's
bro.
fine.
Y'all stay safe, Tim.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate you, bro, as always. Oh, man. That dude got us hyped for a second,
Oh,
right?
my God.
Yo, Shane's so funny, huh?
Yo, Admiral. Yo, people sleep on the Admiral so much, bro. So much.
They have gotten a bad rap. I'll tell you that. They've gotten a bad rap. They have. They're much stronger than they're supposed to be.
We always end up power scaling, yo.
I hate it.
Always.
Because you know what? Admirals. Wait, all right. So how do you guys compare Shichibukai to Admirals?
I
Because
don't
kind
know
of
that
feel
we
like
got time for that.
We ain't
bro.
got time.
I know,
for
but
that.
I'm thinking Shichibukai's they're around the topper ones. I'm not talking about freaking like Crocodile, but I'm talking about like Shichibukais are around Admiral level. Like they're kind of close in strength, if not the same strength.
No, Gakumori's not there. But
No,
he's
I'm
He's
not-
not
talking
there.
about,
nah,
he's
I'm
talking about Hancock, Mihawk,
Jinbei,
Jinbei
Doflamingo. Yeah,
Jinbei ain't
I
near
wouldn't put
Admiral
Jinbei
level.
there.
Are you serious? I
No,
would put
Jinbei
Jinbei
is
there.
not near Admiral
You don't think
level.
right now Jinbei can fight an
No,
Admiral?
hell no.
No.
Are you
I just
bugging?
said Law couldn't. Why would Jinbei be able to?
Because you're tripping.
All right, yo.
Anyway,
We gotta go.
it's 8 p.m. I just want to say thank you to everybody that happens to join our show. As always, I'm very appreciative of it. I'm sure these guys are too.
Always.
We have links at the bottom or in the description of this video. We are doing a subscription base so you guys can support us on the show. So there's 3 tiers. There's a $3 tier, the $7 tier, and a $10 tier. With each tier, you get a special color in your name within our Discord, and you also get a special icon for the tier. So join our Discord, subscribe to YouTube, follow on Spotify if you don't want to watch us. But overall, I just want to say thank you for the 5,000 followers on TikTok, and also we're nearing 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Anyway, that's it. Episode 31. We're in the books. Jana. Marv, you don't play the music no more?